Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of testing on the Ruike P661-b. First things first, I'm going to make sure that I like how it goes in pocket. I have put this knife in the pocket of one other pair of pants so far, but this is a pretty generic pair of jeans, pretty straightforward, and so I'm going to go ahead and see how this goes in pocket, and then I'm going to be doing some cutting tests with it, just through some cardboard, some rope. We'll see what else I can find if I've got anything laying around. But first things first, we're going to test it in pocket. I'm going to see how it goes both in the main pocket and also see how it goes in the fifth pocket of these pants, because I have a feeling it may actually work in that application as well. But here we have, what you see is kind of a loop over style clip, but it's not deep carry because it does sit below that final screw there. But it sits nice and tight, nice and snug in there. This knife feels tiny when it's folded up. Super easy to get to my wallet, and really easy, to get my hand all the way down into that pocket. Really easy to draw, really easy to put in, both one-handed, or if I snug it with that, of course. Let's see how it goes in the fifth pocket. There you have it. That actually works pretty well. If I do it without the clip, it's going to sit the same depth because it's bottoming out in there. But that works. I can imagine even if I had a pretty decent sized knife right here and this right here, I could carry both. I don't usually carry two knives in that way. Usually if I'm carrying a secondary, it's in my waistband. But yeah, that works pretty well. I like that. It feels like it's pretty small and slim in pocket. There's no flipper tab or anything like that. So overall, really comfortable. Not much of a surprise there because this is such a small knife, and I already had a feeling that clip was going to do really well. So that is definitely a pass in the pocket for the Ruike P661-b, and now we'll see how she cuts. All right, I'm going to go ahead and see how the Ruike does for some typical cutting tasks. First things first, just going to go at some cardboard because a knife this size and shape and style, I feel like the bulk of its use is going to be things like opening packages, mail, cutting through paper, light cutting tasks. We'll step it up from here, but let's go ahead and start with the cardboard. I'm going to be a weirdo, do this left-handed just because the way I'm standing. That edge on first impressions went through that material easier than I thought it was going to. That's fantastic. Let's see how it goes. Oh yeah. That's great, frankly. I really like that. The ergos on this are nice. The way that I'm able to get a grip and just kind of put my thumb right up here on this rounded part of the spine. Bites in pretty well, glides through. I like that. So, the only residue we've got on there so far seems to be from the tape. The kind of bead blast finish seems to be holding up. The edge still feels perfect to me. I'd be worried if it wasn't just that little bit of cardboard, but let's go ahead and see how it does with a little bit of rope. Now this is a fairly skinny, short blade, but the edge is cruising right through this. Yeah, that's great. Nice clean cuts. It's not fraying or doing anything weird. I'm not having to rely on any kind of serrations or extra force or anything like that. It's just it's doing great on that. Let's do one last thing, a little more hardcore than this knife is probably designed to do, but we'll see how it fares against a little bit of wood. It's actually really good. I like that a lot. Able to get these nice skinny little curls off of there. That's working great. Yeah, cutting test passed with flying colors for a sub $30 knife. That was really impressive. Let's make sure our action is still good. Every bit what you'd want out of it. Awesome. I'm really stoked to see how well that did. All right, so this sucker for $27.50 or whatever it was is under $30. this is a really, really impressive budget knife to me now after putting it through some material like that. I expected this knife to be fine at going through cardboard, but it's a pretty small sucker. And it's 14C28N. It's a fine steel. It's not a super steel or anything like that. But for under $30, this beats the crap out of like the 8CR13 MOV, in my opinion. That is kind of the standard from a lot of other manufacturers. This sucker just did great. I was really impressed with how well, it not just like cut the cardboard, but it went through like a dream. This grind was fantastic for that. It cut the rope really, really well, especially for its size. I usually find that smaller knives struggle with a task like that. This thing is not big, and it did really well with that. It made it pretty easy, frankly. And then on the wood, that's what blew me away the most, especially the more that I think about it. A knife this small, this cheap, this narrow of a blade with a flat grind. Yeah, it's surprising to me that it was able to get that done so well. So yeah, I'll keep on putting this in pocket, keep on trying it out. I'll probably carry this as a secondary for like a couple of days in a row and just see what kind of tasks I can throw at it before I do a final review and wrap up all my thoughts on it. But this is a crazy, crazy deal. Yeah, River's Edge Cutlery has these in stock last I checked. Under $30. That's where I got it. I'll put a link in the description. And if you're looking for a budget knife and you don't necessarily care about it having a name brand that everyone's aware of and on top of, this rake is a solid option. And yeah, I'm impressed.